Hey guys, welcome to this video where I try to explain to you guys what .NET is. Many of you have heard this term already, .NET, and you might be confused if it's a platform, is it a language, is it an ecosystem, is it an operating system? Uh, the topic around .NET can be complex, but I'm gonna try to keep it as simplified as possible. So, what is .NET? Well, imagine you want to build a house. Instead of starting from scratch, you could buy a kit with all the tools and materials you need. Like creating a pizza, for example. Again, you can create the pizza from scratch by buying all the ingredients, making the dough, grating the cheese, or you can buy a pizza kit. .NET is like that kit for pizza or for creating a house, but for building software. It provides us with the tools and parts to make it easier for us developers to create different kind of application. And .NET can be used for many different kind of things. As you see here, .NET is a platform to build basically anything. We can build desktop application, web application, cloud application, mobile application, games, Internet of Things, and AI. That sounds all fine and dandy, but what is .NET Core? What is .NET? What is .NET Framework, etc.? And there are many different types of words or buzzwords that might confuse us. Well, you can think of all these things as different versions or types of this kit. When we talk about .NET Framework, this was the original kit. It's been around for a long time and is mainly used for Windows applications. Then we have .NET Core. .NET Core is a newer, lighter version of the kit. It's special because you can use it to build software that works on Windows, Mac, and Linux. It's like a universal kit, cross-platform. Now, both .NET Framework and .NET Core are kind of old ways doing things. Uh, Moving forward, .NET and Microsoft kind of wanted one platform for everything. So now they've taken the best things from the .NET Framework and .NET Core and just call it .NET. So from .NET 5 and onwards, this is more or less the future, right? It combines the best parts of both the original .NET Framework and .NET Core. It's like getting an upgrade, an all-in-one kit, more or less. So to repeat again though, Microsoft, well, which is the company behind .NET, decided to merge the best part of .NET Framework and .NET Core into one, and they simply call it .NET, starting with .NET 5. So this is again the future direction. It's like they're making the kit better and more universal, so developers can build even more amazing things with it. Now, in this course, we've already used .NET quite a lot, even though we don't think about it. So .NET is kind of a toolkit, and in this toolkit, you have different kind of languages, and one of them are C Sharp and Visual Studio. So what I have now, because I also want to demonstrate the power of .NET. So currently I am working on a desktop application, a WPF application, and I want to use, well, I use .NET to create the actual template for it, right? Now I actually want to use .NET to publish it because it's nice coding on our computer, but eventually we want to deploy this and publish this and distribute this application. I'm sorry if I'm getting cut off all the time, but my daughter is running back and forward and giving me all different kind of chores and objectives for me to do. Anyways, previously in this course, we created a WPF application, a simple, you guys are creating a simple quiz app, and I do have this quiz app on my computer here. It's a very basic quiz app. This was created using .NET and WPF, and the application is more or less done. It's not a super good application, it's just something so I can show you guys the power of .NET and what we can do with it, except the building stuff. So, when we're done with writing the code for our application, we need to distribute this code. Now, we're not gonna take all these files and send them to different kinds of user because yes, we do need all these files to actually run this project, but a user wouldn't be very satisfied with, trying to figure out what they need to do to run this application. What a user want is a basic exe file where they can double click and the application will run. With .NET, we can actually create a package like that. We can take all the code we have right now and we can kind of bake it to a finished project. And there are different ways to do that. But basically what you need to do is you need to publish your code. And there are different ways to publish your code. Using .NET and Visual Studio 2022, the way to publish your code is the following. Up here you have this build section. You can either press build here and press publish selection, or you can right click your project here and you can press publish. Either way is fine. From here, we want to create a publishing profile. You shouldn't have any publishing profile right now. So what you do is you press this button, add publishing profile, and then you choose your target. Right now, I'm not going to distribute this on Azure. I have another video on my YouTube where I actually deployed this same application to Azure Storage account. You can check that out if you want to, but that's out of the scope for this application. So what I want to do is I want to create a folder, and this folder I will be able to send to users with the exe file, which they can then execute and start the application. So basically what I want to do is I want to publish a folder. I press next and then I press folder again, and then it asks me, okay, so you want to create a publishable version of this application. Where do you want this folder to reside within your application, right? So I'm gonna say in bin slash release slash .NET slash publish. Now this path doesn't exist. Well, this exists, but this doesn't exist, and I'm gonna demonstrate that real fast. What we can do is we can right click our project and we can do open folder in File Explorer. Now what this will do is it will open this path in our File Explorer. So here we see all the files, and now we have a map called bin, and in this bin we have one folder called debug. After I'm done with this step, there will be a new folder called release, as you can see over here. So you see in the bin folder, it will create a new map called release, a new map called .NET 7.0 Windows, and then a new map called publish. And within this publish folder, the finished version of our application will be. So let's press finish and let's press close. And now we will press publish. There we go. Now it says that the publishing has been succeeded. Here we can see publish succeeded. We can either choose to press open folder from here, or we can go the same path. So we'll go here. We'll do open folder in File Explorer. There we go. And now we go to bin. Now we see that we have a new folder called release. In this release folder, there is this .NET 7.0. We'll press that one. And then we have a folder called publish. In this folder, if you click it, you'll see 5 files. These 5 files are needed to actually run the application. If I press this exe, you see the application is running and I don't have to start it from Visual Studio Code. So basically, I have now packaged all the code I have into an executable application called WPF App 1. Now, if I want to share this with my friends, well, I don't want to send every single file one by one and tell them, well, you need to run this application. What I want to do is the following. So I go back to the publish, I go back one section, I right click this publish folder and I press compress to zip file. So basically I make it a zip file. A zip file is just easier to share, right? Publish zip, I can write. Now, now we're more or less finished. This is everything I need for me to run this application. So what I can do to demonstrate this is let's actually close all the applications we have running here. And then we'll take this published zip and we'll just put it over here. It didn't want to go. Let's try that again. We take the, there we go. There's the published zip. Again, so my Visual Studio is closed. I have no instance of Visual Studio running right now. This is the finished product. So let's say I'll send this to a user, one of you guys. What you need to do when you receive this zip file is you need to extract the content of it, because again, this is zipped. So not everything is fully functioning in this folder, because when you zip something, when you compress something, you're basically saving all the content, but you're making the files so much smaller, and it isn't runnable. So you need to extract it. And what you do is you right click it and you press extract all, and then it asks you where do you want to extract this content, and we're just going to do at the same location. So on the desktop, there we go. And now we have this folder created. So basically the same thing, but this icon does not have a zip in it. And I can now press this, and I can go to the publish folder, and now I see my executable file here. I can double press it, and I see that my application is working without any problems. So this is just one of the things you can do with .NET, right? But basically, every time we create an application, when we write the code, as soon as we're done with the code, we don't want to publish our entire code because we have some secrets in our code. We have some variables, some private things we don't want to share. So what we do is we use .NET to create a publishable version. And you can see here, it's not a lot of files here, and you cannot really go in depth to what the code behind is. It's more or less an application that just works, and it's very easy to install on your computer. And it's also very easy to share using Azure or any other cloud provider for that matter. So as you understand, .NET is quite powerful. And it's quite powerful for a couple of different reasons. The first reason is it's versatile, right? It doesn't really matter what you are building. .NET has a runtime for everything, from game to a website. And it also has tools and libraries to help you do all of these things. So you don't have to worry about how to parse a JSON document, for example. These things are included. It's also cross-platform, so that's the second argument for it. It's cross-platform, so you can use it to, you're not limited to Windows application. You can use it to create the Windows, Linux, or Mac application. It has a super strong community. The community is both large and active, and this in returns mean that there's a lot of resources, tutorials, and other third-party tools that are available. And if you ever face problems, there's the chances that somebody else already ran into these problems are quite huge, right? So it's very rare that you will have a unique problem. Uh, Sorry for that cut off. My daughter wanted me to open a toy for her, which I did because I'm a hero, right? Uh, the fourth argument, it's performance, right? Over the years, Microsoft has invested heavily in making .NET faster and more efficient, and the performance improvements are in recent version are quite notable. If you check .NET 7, 8, it's quite notable, right? The fifth argument for why .NET is pretty awesome, it's future proof. So Microsoft is committed and has committed to the future of .NET by merging the best of .NET Framework and .NET Core into this unified platform called .NET. This ensures that the skill we learn today will remain relevant even in the coming years. And the sixth argument for this is Visual Studio, right? So it's the primary IDE for .NET, which offers, powerful debugging, profiling, code editing tools out of the box, which makes development process smoother and more efficient, which we've all used in this course so far. And again, Visual Studio kind of makes our life easier as a developer. And one of the main reason is it's one of the best arguments is that it's open source. Well, not everything, but a significant portion of .NET is open source. This means developer can see how things work under the hood. They can also contribute to the platform and even create their own customized version if not if needed, right? So in essence, .NET is, I would say, a robust, versatile, and ever-evolving platform backed by a tech giant, well, Microsoft, but also supported by a global community. So it's a great choice for a wide range of software development needs, and it's great for us as C# cloud developers or .NET cloud developers to learn. Creating application and publishing application is just one of the things we can do with .NET. During this course, we will learn and apply more from the .NET platform in order to enhance our developing skills. That was it for this video, guys, and if you have any questions, feel free to write me.